Well, there is no doubt that being a teenager these days can be a little rough. I'm here at Two Roads Wellness with counselors Eric Sisney and Jasmine Conyers. Thank you so much for having us today.
Thank you.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about our teens when it comes to mental health, because there can be a stigma around it these days, and how can we overcome that?
I think that a lot of normalizing behavior for teens can be really effective for parents, especially with normalizing their experiences and giving them an opportunity to speak about what their experiences are like. And that can be really impactful because teens are often feeling overlooked and underheard. So we like to give them an opportunity to speak on how they feel openly with their parents and with their friends, and that can be really beneficial.
Yeah, Eric, being a former high school teacher, you kind of have that in right there with exactly what our teens are facing these days. What are you noticing, or what did you notice?
Well, I think that was made worse by COVID and the lockdowns and everything else. And I think they're feeling that need for acceptance to belong to certain groups. And there's also this desire to want to belong to something bigger than themselves. And I think facilitating that, having those communications, having those conversations with them about what that looks like, how to get involved, and just to know that they've got these great ideas that may not fit with what we see as older people, but just being willing to listen to that and being to accept that and validate it, like Jasmine said, to where, yeah, these are awesome ideas, so how can we help you grow in that area?
Yeah, well, I know I am thankful every day that social media wasn't around when I was back in high school. Let's talk about some of those struggles that teenagers are facing these days. Specifically, I know anxiety, depression. Let's kind of go into depth a little bit more with what they are, what kind of things they may be facing.
Well, it's interesting you bring up social media, because I just heard the other day that if you spend more than 2 hours on social media, the anxiety, depression, all that stuff goes up pretty significantly too. So it is the way they communicate. Like Snapchat is the way they don't text anymore. They message through Snapchat and everything else. So it's a weird kind of pressure where when they post something, they're trying to consider all the different ways that post can be taken. And that adds a lot of stress, and it's overwhelming. They have way more choices, way more information available, and that can be overwhelming. And if they don't have some place to kind of work that out, to talk about that, then it leads to the stress, the anxiety, the depression, because they feel like they're never going to be able to work through it all.
Yeah, Jasmine, let's talk to you here a minute. What kind of signs, or I guess symptoms, as a parent should we be on the lookout for that maybe our teen is having some struggles or some mental health issues?
Of course. So a lot of teens tend to isolate or go within themselves. So you notice a lot of behaviors that are involving in their bedroom, or just not openly communicating, disengaging from activities that they typically were used to doing or enjoyed doing, like their hobbies, their skills, their extracurricular activities. And we oftentimes see that those are the initial signs of showing that they're struggling with some kind of anxiety or stress. And it typically shows in their interpersonal relationships, also with their parents, their siblings, their friends, their teachers. So we look for those kinds of signs for kids and seeing what kind of struggles that they are having, and then using those as a means to reaching out to them to see how we as adults can be helpful and impactful to them.
Right. Well, yeah. Now, you have multiple locations here around Champaign and Mahomet. So let's kind of, what does a visit look like? How do you know if counseling is right for your child?
I think a lot of it comes down to really listening to your kid when you take them in. Like we work to make sure that it is a safe place for the kid. And that includes just letting them know we're not just here to talk about what's wrong with you. We're here to talk about, who are you as a person? What makes you you? We play games with kids. We go for walks. We do all kinds of things. And that's just to give the kid a safe space, where they can talk about anything. If they come in one day and there's tons of pressure because prom's coming up, okay, well, let's just talk about what that looks like. If it has nothing to do with why they initially came in, okay, let's just talk about that. Let's work on that. What's that look like? Because they are so much more than why they're coming to see us. Whether it's the depression, anxiety, or something like that, that's just part of them. That's something they're going through at the moment. It's not like them as a whole. So we try to make sure that it's a safe spot for kids to be able to work stuff.
All right. Well, we appreciate you having us out here and sponsoring our segment today. And we're hopeful that if anyone out there they're noticing changes with their teen, maybe mental health is becoming an issue, that you'll reach out to our friends here at Two Roads Medical Clinic. Again, thank you for having us, and we will have all of the information posted at ciliving.tv.